Tuesday, September 1st. Welcome to September. We are going to get into talking about the book report and then more similes and metaphors. And of course, you guys all went home and had post-Brovicast stress syndrome. And so we're going to get a chance to jump back into that with more wonderful learning about similes and metaphors and making you twitchy for the rest of the day and fun stuff like that. Let's see. And of course, I forgot to unlock the screen. For those of you at home, to cover information possible, still going on, you can bring in your pasta, and so we can compete. And then, let's see, the terrific tie Tuesday was worth 4 points, but if you're watching the home version wearing a tie, that's awkward. Plus, it doesn't get you any points, so you're out of luck. We're going to go ahead and talk about the book report. Normally, this is where I would hand out the little piece of paper to you, but I figured I'm not going to hand out the piece of paper to you now. Now, we're going to put it on the iPad. Before you turn in the book report, I'll hand out the piece of paper to you because you have to turn it in so I can do it. But if I give it to you now, there's a chance of you losing it. So here's what I'm going to have you do. We're going to have you download these and stick them into Notability so you can go from there. So go to Notability. And then you're going to create a new subject called Book Report. So in Notability, new subject, I'm going to call it Book Report because this is going to be information about the book report. Don't you ding at me. Then, once you've done, stop dinging at me, then you're going to go to my website and we'll walk you through there. I did appreciate the fact, Blanc, that you did go to my message from last night and then did check mark it to let me know that you saw it. Yeah, I know. Good job. So proud of you. It popped up while I was reading. Blanc has check marked last night's message. Even though she didn't follow it, but she did check it. Then, once you have gone into your Notability and you have created that little site, I'm going to have you go to my website, and I put directions up there to try and help you. MrBroviac.com, down to the homework files, down to the book report number 1, and then you're going to have directions, rubric, and the examples. You're going to want to do all 3 of those. So you're going to download each one, then you're going to open it in Notability, and you're going to save it into your book report file area, and we're going to come back and take a look at it here in a moment. So there should be 3 buttons there. Each button, you click it, and it's going to open up the file that you're going to then save to the magical world of Notability. And hit the open in Notability. Yay! Save it in Notability. Go back and do the other one. I'm going to move on here in a moment. At some point I'm going to assume you can figure this out. Mr. Brovicast, you're smart. Stop lying to me, children. Mr. Brovicast, that was on camera. No one watches this, we're fine. Mr. Brovicast, I was home watching this. Stop lying to me. Alright. Gotta move on. Patience is a virtue that I don't possess. I know. I sing the catchiest songs. Then, once you've done all that, I'm going to have you go back to your Notability, button, Notability, and you're going to open up the one that says Directions. And we're going to go through and do that. So hopefully you have all 3 there, and we're going to go to the one that says Directions. For those of you who are playing the home game right now, I explained to the people here playing the live version that my allergies have flared up, something fascinating, and my brain is currently mashed potatoes. So if you see me drop, just applaud at home, and then if you see me get popped up and kid under my arms moving me around like this, I'm a puppet. Pay no attention to anything I say. Back to you guys. Here's what you are going to be doing. You're going to be creating a character collage, where in your book, you're going to pick a character that you like. And what you're going to do is you are going to find pictures that represent that character. You're going to be putting, the people at home, I'm going to bring it up. Ooh, there you go. So you can pause. Now hit play. You can, because it was paused. It's a trick. So what you're going to do is find pictures that connect to your character throughout the story. So either things that they do or things that represent their personality, and you're going to find these pictures. Pictures can come from the internet, and you can just print them off, or you can go and do actual paper ones, and so you're going to collect all those things together and create them onto here. Then, for each picture, you're going to come up with a little explanation explaining why that picture is on there, giving me an explanation of that connection to the book in some way. Then you're going to be numbering each picture on there, so that way I can match up your pictures to your explanation things on there. So if I were to look on here and try to find a picture that's weird, there's one that's got a shopping cart, and it says number 22. So I'd be like, well, why is there a shopping cart on there? I would go to your little information sheet, find 22, and it says shopping cart. When she goes to the drugstore, her new super strength allows her to just be able to pick up the cart and carry it around under one arm. And so that gives me information. So you can have one saying, there's, a person splashing water on their face because when they ran the cross-country race, they didn't stay hydrated, and then they passed out, and people made fun of them and stomped on their body. And so you're going to have little pictures that will connect to it, and then you're going to have little explanations that go along with it the whole way through. That's what you're doing for the whole thing. As far as on your notability thing, you're going to want to go to, I think, the very bottom of the little direction sheet. And then down there, I think it says A, B, C, D. You're going to want to write in there. So get the little write thing. I want to throw things on the ground. You're going to have to write down how many pictures you want. Because if you want an A, there's a certain number of pictures you have to have. So on the spot where it says A, you have to write 30. Because you are going to need 30 pictures for an A. So notability on there. This should be on the direction one, not the rubric one. Direction, bottom, A, B, C, D. So for an A, you would put 30 on there. This is where you can do the zoomy and the righty, or you can do a typey. For a B, it's 25. For a C, it's 30, 25. And C is 20, and D is 15. So you can write 30, 25, 20, 15. So that's how many you have to have minimum to get that grade. So if you want to have an A, you have to have at least 30. If you want to just have a D, you have to have at least 15. Jablanc?
It already says it.
Is it already down there already?
Yeah.
No, never mind. You guys must have got the lucky version. I'll go back there and delete it just to taunt you next time. So it says 30, 25, 20, 15. Then, well, yay on that one from here. So that's what you're going to go through and do. On the other one, if you bring up the rubric, that's what I'll use to grade it. It's got boxes on there. It is basically, it goes through and shows you what you want to do if you're trying to figure out where the points go, stuff like that. And then the other one you bring up says examples. And I'm going to go through and show you more examples here in a moment. And that way, if you ever need to see examples because you get lost, you can go on there and look. I will also put up examples over here on my board at the end of the day, so you'll be able to find examples there. You may use words, but they have to come from magazines. If you use words, you want to use magazine words. If you type up words, you're limited to 5. So if you type up the words yourself, like in WordArt or something like that, then you're limited to only 5. The reason being is that there's kids who are slacking and they wait till the night before and they just go in there and type up words as opposed to Googling pictures and printing them off, and it ends up looking all janky. And I'm an anti-jankite. So the word pictures you can cut out of magazines, and that's fine. Johnny?
5 what? 5
Typed up words.
letters?
Typed up words.
5.
Typed up words. It's still typed up words. And then you can be creative. This one, she used from a can of vegetables. She pulled off like a little label, and she used something like that. And so you're welcome to use something along those lines. Basically just looking for you to show me that you understood the book and enjoyed it and made little connections to it. And then little explanations will go through, and you'll make the explanations from there. Questions from any there? Yay. Let me show you guys quick examples, which you can look at on your little sheet if you bring up a little example thing. I think they're pretty similar to the same examples. Let's find out. Let's see if we did. We'll do it from there. Max?
Are we allowed to use a book that we've already read?
Absolutely. I've already graded your project. You failed. If you use a book that you've already read, that means that you're a horrible cheating kid. In that case, I get to go ahead and give you a 0 because you're not doing any work. The whole point of doing the book report is to introduce you to books that you've not read before. So if you read a book that you've read before and I find, Mr. Brovicast, how would you find out about it? Well, that's how the game's played. You never know. Oftentimes it's because your friends rat you out. Because they're busy doing work and you're busy cheating, and they will very happily route you out. I just don't let you know that I know you've read the book until the day the project comes due. And then the day the project comes due, I'm like, I can't take this. You're like, why? I'm like, well, because you're a horrible child. You go, what? I'm like, well, because you're cheating. You have a 0 and I have to do the whole project in for you. Like, no, and you start crying and kids laugh and stuff like that. So it's usually not worth it, but some kids like to play the game because they're just horrible, horrible children. Keely?
What if you're reading a book? Reading that book now?
Well, you're supposed to be because you picked up the book last week.
Can you use that book for board?
If you're reading a book now, that's fine. You're supposed to be reading a book now. That was the whole point of us going to the library last week. So if you have a book now, that's fine. So as long as it's a book that you've started reading since last Thursday, I'm all good with it. Or before that, if you come talk to me, that's fine. We'll negotiate from there too. Jablanc?
Can it be a movie that you haven't seen?
No.
Yeah, go watch a movie. I already rated yours too. Kate?
What if it's a book that you started like last Thursday, but you've already finished it?
That's fine. You're a fast reader, go you. For the most part, oftentimes, if the question is, it feels like I'm cheating, is I'm cheating? Yeah, you're cheating. So if that's the question, you're like, I'm pretty sure I'm trying to get away with, you're cheating. So it's pretty much as simple as that, is what I go for. So yeah, I just want you to read a book, and then I try to make the project somewhat interesting and not somewhat painful. The due date is, it's in October, it's a Wednesday, I think it's that first Wednesday, it's like a 7th or an 8th. Let's see, so October, Wednesday, numbers 8. Wednesday, October 8th is the due date for it. So it gives you just over a month to read the book, put it on there, stuff like that. Jablanc.
The first Wednesday of October is the 7th.
Is it a 7? That's fine. It is a 7. There you go. I was looking at a little calendar, it looked like an 8. Yeah.
Can we get extra credit for turning it in early?
Absolutely. You get extra credit if you turn it in early, which has to be the Friday before it's due. And then also if you do more than 30, it gives you extra credit too. And so, and both of those you can do extra credit or extra B points. Or you can also turn it in late, but then it's going to cost you a late grade. Plus, everyone has to turn in a project. So if you turn it in late, then, you know, detentions and tiers and stuff like that. So eventually everything gets turned in when we get to it. Your book report book, once you have it, I'm going to have you show it to me starting tomorrow. If you have it today, we'll see. No, wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow, if you have the book report book, you have to bring it in and show it to me. I just have to see your book by Monday of next week. If it's an ebook, you just have to show it to me on your ebook version. If it's a paper book, you have to show it to me on the paper book version. But I have to see it in your possession before I can write you down. Is that your question, Tracy?
Yeah.
Good stuff. I think, Johnny,
What if it's an audiobook?
then you still have to bring me the audioishness,
Okay.
so I can see it that way too. We'll talk more about the book report as we get farther and you guys get a chance to start it. For the most part, that's when you guys see an example of what it is. Examples on there as you go through. You can't really see it from there. Let's see if that helps. Just examples so you can see it. That one was the same idea. Put the character's name on there. Pictures as you go through, take a look at it. Yee. For those of you at home, does that help? Yay! There you go. Same thing. When you number them, just make sure you put numbers on each one, character's name in the middle, and then little pictures that match up. And then there's the same project with the actual information, so you can take a look at that. Same idea, numbers. Here, you can do the whole thing with words if you want to, as long as they're just cut up words from magazines and stuff like that. Typed up words, how many can you do maximum? Good job. Same thing with the actual writing next to it. Another one, you can handwrite it if you don't type it. You can handwrite, and that's fine with me. I have no problem with handwriting as long as I can read it. And then ones that have issues. If you do a book that has a movie that goes along with it, you cannot do pictures from the movie. So if you were to do a Fault in Our Stars, you can't then just go to faultinourstars.com and then just go printy, printy, printy. So I do not count any pictures that come from the movie that connects to it. You can read a book that has a movie that goes with it. That's fine. There's lots of good books that get made into movies. You just can't use any of the pictures that come from that movie. But how am I going to find a picture of a kid with cancer? Just type in kid with cancer into Google and you'll find a whole bunch, you'll be fine. Same thing with Harry Potter, like, how am I going to find a picture of a wizard? Just find a picture of a random kid, put a scar on his forehead, put a stick in his hand, like, boom, done. And so you just want to find random pictures that connect. Kate?
If you like write words, is that the same as typing?
Yes. And I don't want you to write words.
Okay.
That'd be bad too. And I'll show you examples here in a moment. It just looks horribly messy. Is that your question, Johnny?
No, I was actually just gonna say, if it's made into a movie, it probably is a good book.
Normally. I would agree the same thing. Same thing, not drawing pictures, because that's what kids do when they're on the bus in the morning and realize they haven't turned in the project. So the drawing of pictures usually comes out looking pretty bad. If you're a good artist, you can come talk to me, show it to me ahead of time, and that's fine. But usually it's kids who wait to the last second. And then other just random bad ones, if this is what yours looks like, you're probably going to have issues. So I just show you examples of the bad ones just so that you don't do this yourself. And that was one where they did a Star Wars book, and then all they did was print off things from StarWars.com, and then just typed up a whole bunch of words. They did this whole project, and I think in 17 minutes, the night before it was due. You would never tell being able to look at it. That is such a high quality thing. That was one where they went through there and just typed up a whole bunch of words. Once again, done the night before it was due. Once again, projects done the night before they were due. Typed up a whole bunch of words. One thing that freaks people out is that it has a beer bottle on there. If stuff happens in your book and you're reading a big kid book, you can put big kid stuff on there. Don't go out and drink it yourself, but you can find the picture because you have a character in there that makes poor choices. That's fine. It's part of you guys getting the chance to read the big kid books. So you can have the things on there that connect to it. Fine with me. I can handle it. All right. Now, clap. Just for you, clap. I'm not asking for applause, you crazy monkey children. I get enough applause already. I'm already awesome. All right. Any other questions as far as the book report goes? All right. Then you can put that away. We're done with that. If you have your book by Wednesday, that's Wednesday, tomorrow, and then you'll start showing them to me, and I can start writing you down. If I don't have the book by Monday, then that's when I have to start being mean to you. So Monday at the absolute latest. All right, we're good to go there. We talked about the similes and metaphors, so we're good to go with all that. You should have this information written down. I said, there we go. Covered all that. When is the homework due? Wednesday, which is also tomorrow. How many similes?
3.
How many metaphors?
3.
Where do you find the pictures?
On the website.
Hopefully you notice some of the pictures are a little different. Yes, they are. Let's see, good. Let's see, that was for my regular class. We'll skip that for you guys. And for you, we finished the poem, correct?
Yeah.
So we get to go to the more exciting one. Now we get to go to tougher examples. We get to continue. I know we're a little sleepy. I'm sure in a moment one of you will make a mistake. That's going to help with the whole sleepy issue. We get to come back to impact learning. I know. Sit up and get. Yeah, I know. Post-traumatic stress is going to be good for you. So I have the examples up there. We're going to get into it. These are going to be slightly more challenging examples that require a bit more thinking on your part. So we'll see how well we can. Was that Jackal? You want to do the first one?
Yeah.
That's a brave move. I like that. So Jackal, we'll have you do the first one here. It says, my math teacher is as angry as a poked grizzly bear. Now, before you answer, you're going to have to tell me simile, metaphor, none of the above.
Simile.
Not yet. I appreciate your eagerness. Then, what two things are being compared. Then, why they're being compared. Okay, now you ready? And remember, mistakes we make impact others.
Oh, God.
Okay. Not God, just me. Easy to get confused. My math teacher is as angry as a poked grizzly bear.
Simile.
Simile. You feel strong about that?
Yes.
And to remind you guys from yesterday, make sure you bring strength with your answers. I don't need globiousness in here. Good job. It is a simile. Comparing what two things?
Math teacher and a grizzly bear.
Is correct. And what they have in common, they're both?
Angry.
See, people get to keep sleeping. Education's happened. Nicely done. Kelly! No, the second one up there. When he smiles, his eyes are burning balls of flame.
Metaphor.
Metaphor is correct. Comparing what two things?
His eyes and burning balls of flame.
Is correct. Now, just one thing that have you change is that compare noun to noun. And you did adjective noun to adjective 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 noun. So what would be the two nouns being compared?
Eyes and flame.
We're not comparing the eyes to flame. You're halfway there.
Balls.
That'd be an adjective and a noun. We have to limit it down to just a noun.
Balls.
So now put it together. What two things are being compared?
Eyes and balls.
You feel strong with that? You calling it out? Oh, I thought you were going to call her out on it. Good job, you're correct. And why are we comparing them? They're both?
Red.
Works for me. And that's where the burning would come in and stuff like that. All right, next one. Next one. With his allergies, his nose was a broken faucet. No idea what inspired me on that one. Sure, Andrew? One of the other things I've learned that's really fun to do is now that I know your names and where you sit in the classroom, I don't have to look at you to call your name. I can look in random directions and say random kids' names because I've learned that when I look in this direction, kids over here go, I'm safe. And if I look in this direction, and kids over here go, So now I can randomly point to a person and say a different person's name and it messes with two heads at once. So I go, Andrew, you're up. And it messes with Jablon's name, and Andrew's like, you have my name. I go, that's me. So it's just the joys of me knowing your names. Andrew, back to you. All right, so here we have this one. So this would be simile, metaphor, none of the above.
Metaphor.
Metaphor. You seem very confident. That was good. Comparing what two things?
Nose and faucet.
Nose is correct. And what they have in common, they're both?
Broken.
No. I mean, nice. Getting close. Why are we comparing his nose to a broken faucet? Use the beginning part of the sentence.
Is he has allergies?
Getting there. So what happens to the nose that would also happen to a faucet?
Oh, it's running now?
Yes, there's the stuff coming out of it. Good job. Not broken. We didn't punch him or anything like that. Next up. My horns are sharp and pointy when I'm evil. Jablanc?
Okay. None.
You're not going to do it? You volunteered.
No, there's no simile or metaphor there.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Move to that part.
I'm absolutely
That's the
sure.
part you want to go with.
I'm 100% sure.
Good job, Jablanc. Nothing up there on that one, except for a little bit of sassiness. But I can accept that. Next up, did you know my heart is a shriveled dead acorn in my chest? So, once again, don't know what inspired that one. Zanaya!
Metaphor?
Are you asking me?
No.
What are you going to go with?
Metaphor?
That's what you want to go with? That's correct. Comparing what two things?
An acorn and the heart.
And what they have in common?
Both shriveled.
Close.
Dark.
Getting closer. Here's your hint.
Small.
There you go. It's not actually in the sentence because acorns aren't normally shriveled. I mean, unless it's a really weird squirrel. It's just the fact that it's really small in there. Next up, most children just break into tears when they see Mr. Kaiba. Johnny?
It's none.
Again, you're going to go with none?
It's none. Yeah, I'm positive.
None.
Yes, I'm positive. I'm scared, but I'm positive.
I appreciate the honesty. So, Leah, were you calling him out as a liar? You want to?
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's correct also. Good job. No dancing. This is a dance week class. Of course, Mr. Kaiborg really likes the taste of children's fear.
What?
Oh my gosh.
I definitely did not write that. Ali!
None.
What was that?
None.
None?
None.
Is it distracting? Why? Not even.
No.
Good job. There's none of that one either. All right. So next one then. Their ragged breaths are like a delicious perfume to him. I know it's good writing, isn't it? Riley! Comparing what two things?
His breath and to perfume.
And what do they have in common? They're both? Here's your hint. It's not in the sentence. You have to use your brain to sort of look at it and figure it out. Why would he think that their ragged breaths are like a delicious perfume? What does perfume do that ragged breathing does for him? Just throw out a guess. Have you ever smelled perfume? What does perfume smell like?
She's not lying.
I was looking more for an adjective than a noun. Use an adjective to describe perfume.
Good.
Okay, so then how is he going to think about the ragged breathing?
Good.
Good. So why is he comparing the idea of kids' ragged breathing to perfume? They both.
Smell good.
Way to play my game. Good job, Riley. That's not painful at all. His natural evilness is a beacon of inspiration to other teachers. I would have, but she already volunteered. I didn't want to make her sad.
Me? Okay. It is a metaphor.
Is correct. Comparing.
His evilness to
Give me one
a
noun.
beacon.
Good job. And what do they have in common?
They're both natural.
No. No. Good. I'm glad you waved that off. Can't let you leave
Both
yet.
an inspiration.
Once again, it's not in the sentence. You know what a beacon is? What does it make people?
Right.
Good job. So it's something that's bright that makes you come to him. Nicely done. Didn't die or anything. Yay! Tomorrow, your big picture comes due. We're going to take a look at those. We have some more fun stuff to get into. Yay, you, and the fact that I didn't have to,